How do you define your self worth and what influences that definition? So, I don't necessarily have a Webster definition of self worth, but I can just talk about my experience with developing self worth. I used to think it was bad to tell people or just say in general, I'm too good for this, right? I used to think that made you arrogant, cocky, narcissistic. I just thought it was negative. But now I genuinely believe that there's nothing wrong. It's not doesn't make you arrogant for saying that you're too good for this or you're too good for them, right? Because what that shows is you have a level of self-respect and self-worth that you know when a situation or a person is not serving you. And to me, that is the highest form of self worth. Being able to walk away from something that is disrespecting you, that's making you feel less than, that's causing you anxiety, that's frustrating you, right? That's healthy boundaries. And I did not always have that. I used to be in friendships where people would call me out my name. But because I didn't have self worth back then, I would chuck it up to, oh, well, they're just having a bad day, or, oh, they didn't mean it, right? No, they meant it. It doesn't matter what kind of day they're having. You're not going to talk to me like that. That's who I am today, right? But I wasn't always like that. And I think the reason why I struggled with self worth before was because I just didn't think highly of myself. I used to be the woman who would start and stop everything. Any goal, idea, that I had. I didn't have the discipline or the follow through back then to actually get it done. And so, and I've told you guys in other videos, when you're constantly breaking promises that you make to yourself, you are chipping away at your confidence. You're chipping away at your self worth because basically what you're doing when you start and stop and you put things off, you are subconsciously telling yourself that you're not worthy of the thing. That's what you're doing. So maybe you do want to create content. Great. But you keep putting it off. You keep saying you'll do it tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. Well, basically what you're doing is you're telling yourself, I'm not worthy of creating content. I'm not worthy of the business that I say I want to start. Because if you truly believe that you were worthy of it, you would find time to do it. You would find time. We have 24 hours in a day, and you can hold on to the excuse of, I don't have time, but that's a bold-faced lie. You have all the time in the world. You just make the choice not to do the thing because you'd rather scroll. You'd rather go to happy hour. You'd rather gossip on the phone with your friends about nothing than to do the thing that you say you want to do. That's what's chipping away at your self-worth, right? Another thing that we may do, something that I used to do, is I would talk myself out of it, whatever that thing was. So I would say things like, oh, I can't do that, or oh, I'm not good enough for that, or I'm not smart enough. I always had a reason as to why the thing that I wanted to do wasn't going to work out for me. But the reason why I would say those things to myself was because I didn't think highly of myself. I didn't think that I was good enough for the weight loss, that I was good enough for a business, right? But all of that changed when I made the decision to start showing up for myself every single day. And I always started small. Start small. Maybe you don't do anything for yourself at all every single day. Well, how about today you take 15 minutes and work on one thing, not 10, just one. Maybe you have a long list of things that you want to accomplish. Well, just start with one small thing. Like today I'm going to go and walk 5,000 steps. That's about 30 minutes worth of walking. Maybe today I'm going to record one video, even if it's only a 15-second video. Maybe today I'm going to eat something healthy, right? Well, now you're showing up for yourself. Now you're putting yourself first for once in your own life. And the more you keep doing that, your self-worth starts to compound. You start to look at yourself differently. You start to believe that you are worthy of whatever thing that you're working towards because now you are showing up for yourself in your own life. And so when people start disrespecting you, now you're able to stand up for yourself and say, you know what? I'm too good for this. Because you see yourself differently now. Now you know your worth because you show up for yourself every day. You're telling yourself you're worthy. So people who call you out your name, people who yell at you, people who use you, jobs that don't value you, you start to realize you're better than that. And I want you to say that with your chest. Again, that doesn't make you arrogant because now for the first time in your life, you recognize when you're too good for something or when you're too good for someone. There's nothing wrong with knowing who you are. But the only way you're going to know who you are is if you start showing up for yourself. And there is a difference between people who try to tear people down versus people who just know I'm too good for this, right? When I know that I'm too good for a friendship, it's because this person has continuously, even after we've talked about it, has continuously done things that don't align with who I am, right? So maybe they don't reciprocate. Maybe they don't cheer me on the way I cheer them on. Maybe they don't support me the way I support them. Maybe they're talking crazy to me. Well, I don't talk crazy to you, so why are you talking crazy to me? I don't even talk crazy to myself, right? That's something else too that I realized. Now that I do have confidence in myself, now that I'm very confident, I'm very disciplined, I follow through with the things that I say I'm going to do, the way I speak to myself has changed, right? I don't curse myself out. I don't call myself out my name. I don't call myself stupid anymore. I can't even remember the last time I called myself dumb. And that's something that I used to do all the time. I don't tell myself what I can't do and what I'm not good at. I don't even say those phrases to myself. So why in the world would I allow someone else to come into my life and make me feel that way about myself? Who I am today? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not going to happen. No. Why? How did I get to this point? Because I keep showing up for myself. So I have this newfound self-worth that I did not always have. And this didn't happen overnight. These changes took time. I've been on a self-development journey now for about 6 years. I feel like there's always something to improve on. I don't think you ever finish the journey. You always will walk it until the day you die. And so much in my life has changed since I decided to start showing up for myself. Like, I've lost 100 pounds. I have a 6-figure business now. I'm very active. I eat very healthy. I'm plant-based. There's so many things that I've done and improved on in my life where now how I see myself is totally different than how I used to view myself. I used to drink heavily. I haven't had a drink in 5 years. I will never touch alcohol again. So I think that a lot of times the reason why you're experiencing the things that you're experiencing with people or environments is because you just don't have enough self-worth to walk away from it. And yeah, it can be scary to walk away from something that's no longer serving you. Maybe you've been friends with this person for 20 plus years, so you couldn't even begin to imagine how life will be if you cut ties with that friend who disrespects you or uses you or talks down on you, whatever, right? Let me tell you how it'll be. It'll be peaceful. You'll be happy because now you don't have someone in your life draining you of your energy, right? So how do we stop struggling with lack of self-worth? Start putting yourself first. You can't expect people to do for you what you don't do for yourself, right? If you don't even put yourself first in your own life, it's crazy to think that somebody is going to put you first. It's not going to happen. We show people how we want to be treated by how we treat ourselves, right? And so when you start treating yourself better, you'll actually start attracting better people into your life. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. I cannot wait to read what you have to say. Also, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Do not forget to join the Patreon. The link is down below in my description. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.